Okay, welcome to part 2 of the salsa guacamole extravaganza. Hope you came from episode 1 watching the salsa. If not, welcome to episode 2. Hope you enjoy the rest of it. Okay, so our salsa's hanging out right now, marinating, getting to know each other. We're going to move on to the tortillas. Now, I got some corn tortillas here. I bought them at the store. Please don't kill me. I've made them before. That's a whole different animal that we'll tackle maybe at another time. But for tonight, I'm going to show you that we just need to brush them down with a little bit of oil, salt them, cut them, throw them in the oven. So it's very simple, and please do this. Even though the tortillas are store-bought, they still taste 100 times better than pre-made tortillas that you buy in a bag. So follow me in on this, and I'm promising you it's worth it. Okay, so I've got Exhibit A here, 1 tortilla. I've also got a little ramekin here full of some oil, just some olive oil. It doesn't really matter too much. So I've got my springy little silicone basting brush here. I'm going to just dip in and lightly, very, very lightly, just brush with some oil on one side and do the exact same on the other. Just a touch. Okay. So once that's coated, I'm going to put that down and go for my knife. And I'm just going to do this one right now, and I'll do the stack all at once, and it'll make it a lot easier. But I just want to show you this one. So I'm going to cut this guy in half, or about as close as you can get it, and then you can put these 2 halves right on top of each other like that, and then I'm going to cut this into thirds but triangularly, so there and there. Lay these out on my board here, and then I'm going to just ever so lightly salt them. It's very easy to go overboard, and I tend to do that, so just a little bit of salt on each one. And then they're going to go right on the sheet tray. Okay, so I spent a couple minutes cutting down. I think I did about 5 or 6 tortillas, and I've got a nice tray here of the chips. So this is going to go right into my oven. It's going to take about 10 or 15 minutes maybe, but keep your eye on it. You'll be able to tell when they're done. They'll look crispy and kind of dark, and they'll look like tortilla chips. So in we go. With those in the oven, I think it's about time that we can start working on our guacamole. Okay, so guacamole. As I'm sure you're aware, the main ingredient in guacamole is avocado. Now, it's important that you use at least a semi-ripe avocado, but when I went to the market the other day, the avocados were a little underripe, so I had to help the process. So, how do you do that? Well, I also bought some bananas because a man needs to eat some breakfast, right? But also because if you take the avocados and put them to a paper bag with a banana, that will help expedite the ripening process, and you'll have more ripe avocados in a day or so. So I'm good with avocados. I'm going to show you how we carefully cut these in half and de-pit them. Okay, so avocados can be a little dangerous. First things first, there's usually this little tip here at the top of the avocado. That's going to come out because that's going to get in the way. So now with this guy as firmly on the board as you can manage, take your knife and you want to make a vertical cut just like that. Now, leaving your knife kind of in the same place, just going to roll the avocado straight ahead while rocking your knife gently, and we're going to create one vertical cut all the way through the avocado. Then you're going to twist it, and it's going to come apart, hopefully, in 2 equal pieces. So we're going to deal with that in a second. The pit's got to come out because we can't eat that. So please be super careful doing this. I've heard horror stories, but you're going to take your knife, and you're going to attack the pit here carefully with just a quick tap like that, and then twist. The seed will come right out, and then we'll just toss that away. We have a perfectly intact avocado. Now, my magical bowl has appeared, so I'm going to take the avocado. I have a large spoon here, and I'm just going to take the spoon and kind of wedge it between the flesh and the actual meat of the avocado, and just kind of move it around in between that little layer. And careful, careful, careful. I mean, you don't have to be too careful. You're going to end up mashing this thing up, but this makes it a little bit easier to get out of the skin. My cat's going crazy, but that's okay. So, there we go. Okay, so my cat decided to bring me her string, but so distractions aside, I'll just go ahead and show you this avocado as well, just so I can hurry up and maybe she won't go crazy again. So I'm going to go a little bit quicker on this one. Again, just spoon between the meat and the skin, and then your avocado should pop right out. Plop it in your bowl, get rid of the skin. Now, this is going to turn brown quicker than something that turns brown. So we need to get some lime juice on this ASAP. Luckily I had some leftover lime from the salsa, so I'm just going to messily squeeze that in there. So now I have my potato masher, or in this case avocado masher, and I'm just going to give this kind of a quick little mash. This will help kind of start the process of what we're going to do, but it's also going to ensure that the avocado is coated with that lime juice. So I've got a second avocado. I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I've got about half a lime's worth of juice in here, 2 avocados. Of course, I'm going to add in a pinch of kosher salt. I've got all my mise en place ready from my salsa. So I've got some jalapenos. I got some of the tomatoes here. Just going to go small handful. I'm not measuring anything. It's just kind of what looks good. I got that roasted jalapeno. All of that's going in because that's not too spicy. Got some of that red onion. Again, go kind of easy on this because it can easily overpower your entire dish. I do have some cilantro back here. I'm going to dump some of this in here too, or just spoon gently, that's fine. Alright, and then same technique with garlic. So I'm just going to go ahead and grate in a couple cloves of garlic. I'm going to say 2 for now. Hey, you know what, just for fun I'm going to add some chili powder, just because that's what I feel like doing. So that's going to go in like that. Now I'm done mashing. This has got a pretty decent texture, so I'm just going to use my spoon here and just kind of fold it all together and see what we have. This is highly customizable. You could easily add in some bacon, some roasted corn is really, really good. Even pomegranate seeds is really good, believe it or not. I'm going to give it a precursory taste here in a second. I'm going to let this marinate for just a minute while I check on my tortillas. Okay, so my tortilla chips are out of the oven. Now, they look amazing. What I recommend doing is keep your eye on them. They take a lot less time than I originally thought. Check them after about 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes, because they'll go from perfectly golden to, oh crap, they're burnt, and they don't taste very good. So, got my perfect chip here. The best part about it is, my guacamole doesn't break the chip. The final step in all of this is tasting and packaging. So I tasted my salsa and I thought it was so good I put it in a nice little mason jar. You don't have to do that, but I'm going to bring that to work tomorrow. Now, the guacamole, as great as this is, I'm not going to be able to eat all this tonight, and if you want to transport it to somebody's house, this could very easily turn ugly brown before you get to your destination. So, there's a solution. I have this plastic wrap here. I'm going to take out of the packaging. I'm going to cover the guacamole. You want to press right down on the surface of the guacamole. So what you're doing is you're sealing off as much air as you can, and you're inhibiting the growth of that bacteria that will cause your avocado to brown, despite of all the lemon juice we have in there. So once you have all that, you can just fold the rest of this in. I've got the lid for this nice Tupperware standing by. This is ready to go in the fridge or cooler, or to reopen to eat with the rest of my chips. Hey guys, thanks so much for stopping by and watching this episode of Tasty Techniques. I really hope you give this a shot. Like I said in the beginning, these are basic recipes for guacamole and salsa. Feel free to spice these up literally and figuratively. You can add more chilies, you can add habaneros, you can add serranos, whatever you want to do, the sky is the limit. Guacamole is a great base for any number of other flavors that you want to add, and you can really impress your friends and make it look like you did a lot more work than you really did. So, again, I'm Jonathan, Tasty Techniques. Subscribe if you haven't already. I've got a lot of really good ideas that I'm really excited to show you guys for this next coming season, and I can't wait to get to it. So, I'm Jonathan, this has been Tasty Techniques, and I'll see you next time.
It's getting a string again. I've never seen her pick it up like that. She used her hand.